Hello and welcome to CEO Speak. I am Kanaya Singh. Today we have with us Mr. HIRJI Patel, the chairman of ACI UK and of course ACI Asia Limited. ACI stands for Allied Computer International, and Mr. Patel is all set to bring about a revolution in the laptop market. That's what we have learned from him. Now let's get more from Mr. Patel as well. Mr. Patel, can you tell us what exactly Allied Computers International is and what is your core competency? What is the area of business that you are in?
Right, Allied Computers International was set up in '92 in UK as a specialist in portable computing, and since then we've always remained a specialist. When I say that, we've never dealt with PCs or servers ever. Our main 100% focus has been on notebook computers. Now that has paid today a great dividends. Today we can proudly claim to be a leader in terms of quality and also service. Now, the Indian operation Asia was actually set up 5 years ago. The Asia came in India. And if you read the articles or press coverage we received at that time, we were the instigator of price war in notebook market. In the first
that
year
was in 1999.
Yes.
Right.
In the first year of entry, we launched 3 models. And by being competitive, we did not compromise on quality at all. We launched 3 models, and in a group test conducted by one of the reputed IT magazine, we came first, second, and third, including the Best Notebook of the Year award. So quality-wise, we have never compromised because that's all we do. Our 100% business is notebook. Unlike major vendors, when today's scenario, where notebook industry is really booming, notebook business only is about 10% of their revenue. And with us, it's 100%. So our focus is always going to be there. So, and our focus will always mean that users, customers, will get best out of their notebooks in terms of quality and also in terms of service.
You started in 1992 in UK, and since then you have been focusing on predominantly on notebooks.
Yes.
How has the notebook market, how has this market been, since 1992 to 2004? Still a major share of the market goes to the PC segment.
It does,
so
yes.
What has really been the trigger of the growth of this segment? It has grown by and large,
Sure,
it has grown, it has really caught up. So how has the entire market scene evolved rather, if you can put it?
When we started the company as a specialist in '92, the market was such that people were hesitant in buying notebooks due to a number of reasons. One reason was being the performance wasn't up to it. The performance of notebooks was nowhere near the PCs. And also the main important thing, the cost factor, because the production was small and the cost was high at that time. So those 2 factors, deterred people from buying a notebook, so people were focusing more on PCs. But we believed at the time of formation that this is the future, and we were right. So we still remain focused on portable computers. Now, my background is IT, as you may know. In '82, I was one of the first guys who designed a 886 motherboard. My knowledge was passed to my R&D team, and we together worked with 1 or 2 notebook manufacturers in Taiwan to bring out a notebook which performed nearly as quick as PC. And in end of '92, we launched a notebook model, which when tested by IT magazines, proved that. And that triggered the market slightly, right? And from then on, it was uphill because the technology was there. The technology, we proved that a technology in a constrained space can perform. And that, obviously, people started picking up, and things moved on from there.
Right.
So
in '99, when you came to India,
Yes.
You started again with the notebook segment.
Again, yes.
India was not really prepared at that point of time for a product, a notebook.
Sure.
So at that point of time, I think the cost was around 2 lakh rupees.
Yes, yes.
Almost 2 or 3% of the market only used to purchase,
Yes.
notebooks for that matter.
In India,
How has the experience been? How was the experience in 1999 when you started?
Indian experience was totally different from UK. As I said, UK, the performance factor was there. In 1999, the performance was already up to PCs. So the only factor which was preventing market growth was price gap between the PC and notebook. When I entered the market, before I entered in India, I did a market research. Now, what I found in my market research, that the vendors who were already in the business or supplying notebooks, they were in fact supplying Western obsolete stock. All the notebooks that were available in the market were all without AGP technology. Where in the Western world, the AGP
already moved on to
came
AGP.
about 9 months ago.
Right.
So not only they were selling obsolete stock, because
But this has always been the trend in the
because
market.
there was no competition, and also the price was high. So in 1992, 1999, when we came here, the market was showing a decline of 30%, minus 30% in the
Right.
notebook market. When we came in that same year, the market grew by 95%. So what we did, we brought in latest technology, and at a press conference I promised the people that I will give them the latest technology at affordable prices. So I was the first one in June '99 to introduce the first 50K notebook. Now obviously the volume happened from there. And because of our actions, the major vendors who were in the industry had to also respond. So they had to lower the price and upgrade technology.
But still they couldn't match yours.
They couldn't match it because
What are the reasons for that? I mean, there is today cutthroat competition in the market.
Sure.
Nobody wants to lag at least, and you started a price war.
Yes.
Still nobody was able
Yes.
to match you. Till today nobody
Today
is able
no
to,
one can match
nobody
us,
is able to
yeah.
match, at least in price front. What are the reasons for
The
that?
reason why, because we've been in the notebook industry for longer than anybody else. We've been in the industry for 12 years. We know all the supply chain involved in manufacturing notebooks. And plus, we have UK operations which is already operating and nice and healthy. Indian market, I view the Indian markets differently. Me being an Indian myself and seeing that the market is there potentially, but it's not there quite. I wanted the people of India to carry notebooks and compete with the Western world. So my goal, my goal was to equip the people with notebooks. So the only way I could ensure that is by offering the at the affordable price. Obviously, I cannot afford at below cost price. So what I did was to cut my margin to very thin, and offer the price which I could afford. And what we got from that is, yes, we found that the competition who was there was in fact pricing it too high for the people. So if I could offer the latest technology at say 50 to 60,000, where the others were offering at 1.5 lakhs, you can guess what's happening.
And what about the commercial viability? Any business, any product or service that you are offering that cannot be, you cannot carry on with it unless and until it is commercially very viable for you, since you are in a business venture. So does that kind of cost justify your bottom line?
Yes, it does. You see, one other way we manage to compete in terms of selling price is, as you know, a service cost. Service cost of laptop, because every vendors, when they provide a notebook, when they sell a notebook, they have to warranty the equipment for a year. Now, warranty cost on laptops is about 100 times more than PCs, including when it goes out of warranty for users. That cost it gets passed to users. So, what we do, as I say, because we understand the motherboard, we understand the equipment. That's our 100% focus. We can actually repair components within motherboards, or parts within motherboards to component level, and components don't cost us much.
Now, you are trying to say that unlike the other people, wherein the PC is manufactured in bits and bytes, in small segments of a part of motherboard can also be repaired.
Yes.
In other notebooks, it is not so, or other people don't tend to do so.
No,
Other people who repair, who are in the maintenance segment, they don't tend to do so. They replace, rather go for changing the motherboard, which is costlier.
You tell me how many vendors actually go to the effort of repairing motherboards when their focus is not there. For PC, because they've been in the PC industry.
So the competency is not there.
The competence is not there. And in PCs, it's not viable because the cost of repair is higher than replacement, because the production of PC motherboards are high, because they're common. That only one motherboard can fit every models.
Unlike the
notebooks, every single model carries parts only for a model.
And once the model is done away with, the part, it's also hard to find the parts.
Impossible to find, not hard. You can't get. So when that's
so virtually you are trying to make a point that once the model is done away with, it becomes obsolete.
Yes.
Your notebook becomes obsolete.
It becomes unserviceable. This is why for the last 8-10 years we are getting other brand notebooks in our service center. And for the last 8-10 years, 80% of notebook in our service center is of other brands.
So there are two areas of activity that you take. Apart from selling the notebooks, you are also
Service
in service,
well, yes.
and that forms a core competence. That forms a substantial part of your business.
Of course, yes.
Well, you have also launched a recent product which costs around 30,000 rupees a
Yes,
notebook.
yes.
We'll talk more on that, but that's after a break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We are talking to Mr. HIRJI Patel, the chairman of ACI Asia as well as ACI UK. Mr. Patel, you have recently launched a product which is costing around 30,000 rupees,
Yes.
a little less than 30,000 rupees.
Yes.
So tell us something more about that product.
Okay, now as I explained to you, ACA is about getting the market moving. We initiated the move in 1999. Now the time we feel has come to really accelerate in the marketplace. So what we've done now, due to our experience and the length of time we've been in the industry, we have collaborated with CPU manufacturers and other parts manufacturers to bring the price of notebooks down to a level where it's almost the price of an assembled PC. That's what we've done today. Now, when we're offering this notebook at sub 30K, there's absolute no compromise on quality. We don't compromise quality. The only place we do compromise, which I will repeat again, is marketing. We're not great marketeers. We don't intend to be great marketeers. We're about supplying people the best value for money. We're not about spending your money in hoarding boards to advertise my brand to anybody else.
And then passing on the cost to the customer.
Obviously, we're about making profit from you and pumping it back into you in giving you the best service possible.
Now this
And
is
this is why
altogether
probably-
different model that you're talking about,
This
the
is
business
probably-
model that you're talking
That's
about.
right. This is probably why there may be 50% of people out there saying, who's ACI? That doesn't mean we're no good. In industry, we are the best. What do people want when they buy products? They want best value for money. They want best quality. They want best value. They want best service. That's what we're about.
And you have now started, you triggered another, price for in this segment. Now you are trying to eat into the PC segment.
That's right.
So you have shifted your focus from notebook segment to PC segment, which is very huge
You
in
see,
India.
what's happening at the moment, you're getting more and more notebook vendors coming in. So we had a choice of either keep reducing the price, and they also reduce the price. It was getting a bit silly. Now to get a market share in such a wild price war. Now people are also forgetting what they were getting for the money as well. Now if you see the entry-level notebooks offered by the major brands, if you carefully look at it, they're not the latest equipment. If you look at a website, you will not find them. Again, we're getting the same scenario as we had in 1999 when obsolete stocks were coming in. But the only difference now you have is that
China has an edge over us. Do you see India also being a production base for electronic equipments, maybe these kind of equipments as well?
yeah, I think at the moment China is ahead because most of the companies from Taiwan, let's say most of the manufacturers has been done in the Far East. So the natural movement will have to be from Japan or Taiwan to China.
Right.
India has never been involved in manufacturing, and there are certain reasons why not. Because I think the taxation rules and restrictions have prevented people from setting up such operation. When I came in 1999, I had contemplated doing that, but it's so complicated process. And
But
I
now
think
things have
it's
changed radically in the last
Now
couple
it's
of-
changed, and I see a future in that. But I think it's a shame that the government did not see it before, where we let China
Score over us.
steam ahead and score over us. But okay, time lost is time lost. But now, yes, I foresee few people entering into manufacturing. Now, manufacturing PCs is not a very easy process. It will have to involve collaboration with the Far East companies, mainly because sourcing problems associated with motherboard manufacturing. Like as I said, there's about thousands of components that go into motherboard. If one component is not sourced, then the whole production line stops. That's the main problem. So only the collaboration between us, my Indian company and the Far East company will start it off. Once it started off, yes, I foresee more and more people coming here, manufacturing.
Now, Mr. Patel, coming to your personal side, you have studied in UK, you have been a scientist predominantly, if
Yes,
I'm not wrong.
yes, yes.
What prompted you to enter into with business venture?
Basically, I think I got sick of it really, because when I say sick of it, I mean,
What was your last job?
the last job was working as a software consultant. I was a programmer doing commercial software as a
And that was in
freelancer.
UK. That was
yeah,
in UK.
Yeah, and I did that for 7-8 years. I think after a period of time, you want to do something new. And I've always had a inclination to become a businessman. And the way we did it was that as soon as we opened up our software company, I had a task to acquire notebooks for my staff. And at that time in 1992, the demand was there, for me especially, but the supply wasn't there. Look through all the IT magazines, you hardly find anybody advertising notebooks. So it took me 3 months to get notebooks. That's what made me go into
That was in 1992.
1992.
Right.
Yes.
So you finally decided to enter into this segment.
That's right. That's why I said
Why only
business.
notebook? Why only? You were a software consultant.
Yes.
Software was booming at that point of time. It paid well, even for that matter,
Yes.
and it created more billionaires than any other field.
It did.
Why did you choose notebook?
You see, I think, as I said, I've been doing software and also hardware design in my avionics studies, as well as when I was a missile scientist too. And then from that, I went from real-time software into commercial software. And in total, I've been doing that for, say, last 12 years, so 10, 12 years. I think more of boredoms than anything else, that I wanted to go into hardware again. And the reason why I chose notebook is just the future I saw.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Patel, you have partnered with an India partner, and the experience hasn't been quite good.
Yes.
Has it in some way, demoralized or demotivated you to take up the Indian market, or you are even more enthusiastic to prove yourself?
Basically, at the time, I was demoralized, but I think because I'm a very strong fighter. I mean, most of the people who come here, when this happens, they go away.
Mm.
But I'm a very strong believer in what I do, and that's what forced me to do what I've done. And obviously, one thing also helped me was the fact that users here, or people here, were using ACI brand, and I didn't want to leave them without the company here. So that's one reason why I stayed, and the other reason is my achievement, what I want to achieve, and I will achieve.
Now, how much time do you spend in India looking after your business over here?
For the last year, normally I go to UK to look after UK operations for every 6 to 7 weeks before. Now I've got a well-experienced management team who's looking after the affair there. So for the last 1 year, where I've been focused in Indian market to grow in the Indian market, I haven't been there for one year.
And what about the Indian team now? You have set up a new team altogether,
Yes.
taking charge of the situations yourself.
Mm.
How about the Indian team? Tell us
I think we're
something
building up a very good team. We're building up a good management team to take care of the affairs throughout the country. We've got regional managers, we've got country managers. And we're aiming to basically, our headquarters is situated in Andheri, Mumbai. And we're opening up mainly full-fledged service center plus parts sales activity in every main cities of the country. The only two left is Hyderabad and Bangalore, which we will open up within the course of next 2 weeks. So that will give us the full infrastructure as a outlet in terms of service and supply.
Now, you have brought down the prices of a notebook as compared to, it's now 30,000 rupees. As it is more or less as equal to a good PC if you go and buy a good PC.
Yes.
Do you see the prices still coming down?
Yes,
And you would be rather the initiator for that.
of course.
How long will that take?
The prices will continue to stay. Prices will continue dropping, and we will. As I said, my goal is to equip every computer user in India with a mobile laptop, and that goal I will achieve, no matter what price I need to drop it down to.
So that's the news. Mr. Patel has promised us to bring down the prices of notebook down again. even less than 30,000 rupees that he is charging as of now. Thanks indeed for joining us, Mr. Patel. It was great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Well, that was all we had on this episode of See You Speak. We'll be back again with yet another corporate leader. Till then, from the entire team here, it's goodbye.